Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming to Delp Chanel's 48th World, where we do recaps and reviews on soap operas, reality shows, and shopping hauls. Not recaps on that, but just me telling y'all about good bargains, good sales at the stores that I frequently shop at. If not every week, every other week. Okay? But today we're going to be talking about The Young and the Restless, which aired today, Thursday, May 5th, 2016, Eastern Standard Time at 3 o'clock. Okay? Let's give you a little summary about today's episode. First of all, Adam and Chelsea question Sage's loyalty. The Newman family receives a surprise visitor. Marissa confides in Noah. Okay, all right. So that's where we are right there. You know, we always recap from last episode that they showed us, which was from yesterday. You know, when Sharon gave this huge outburst of something. We thought that she was going to just go on and tell the truth. But after today showing, she ain't doing nothing. She just basically letting Nick know, hey, he ain't alone. He's got children still. He got one little girl still. He has a host of exes, such as herself, uh, and just good family and friends to be surrounded by. So what is he talking about? So on the outside looking in, that was a good gesture, but that's not what she was going to tell us. She just got scared and decided to keep the secret. But she's gonna find out that, hey, it is what it is. So I'm a little confused on that little subject about who's the father now. So some of my gifts or gabs, please enlighten me. Because, okay, if she knew that Adam was the father, Sage I'm talking about, if she knew that Adam was the father, he switched the paternity test. Who's to say they didn't switch the paternity test back? So I'm still confused, guys. I'm still confused. So I'm not really sure what's what. I know initially he was the father, but he switched paternity tests, you know, so he can let Chelsea stop bothering him and that she could have a life with Nick because they had lost their other child. But then again, did they really lose their child? No, they didn't. So was it because of the affair that she had with Adam? They got her, or could she have already really been pregnant prior to having the affair? It just tingles. It tingles the mind, guys. So I'm kind of confused. So if somebody can enlighten me to give me a little bit more to go on, because I'm kind of screwed up in my head of who's the father now, because they keep going back and forth, and I'm confused. Okay, but let's go on to that first scene. The first scene goes where Victor is telling her about Luca's visit. Meaning Marissa basically trying to say, you know, Lucas may be coming in to see you shortly. And he like, for what? I've already seen him. There's no need for him to come see me. He's a joke of a man. And this, that, and the other. Of course, she's telling him, don't underestimate him, because, honey, he gonna want to be in your seat all day, every day. Okay? We go to Lucas. And, he has called himself getting a private investigator. Okay. Named Rodney. And he's supposed to be finding out all this wonderful information about Victoria. It could be some type of scandal he can use against her. It could be fraudulent things that she's doing in the company. Who cares? He just wants dirt. So he's hired this PI person to go get dirt on her, so he can use it as leverage. But as we can see, he's not telling his private investigator too much information, so the investigator can pretty much know what the hell he's looking for. But anyway, you know, goes back to say, when Marissa went and saw him, like, you know what? You need to just check yourself, because he's trying to take your company. And evidently she don't know Victor. She just a little fish in a big ass pond. She don't know how ruthless he can. Well, she should know how ruthless he can be, because he behind bars. Okay? I mean, no, he ain't gonna downright kill you and then like that. Unless you threaten his life or his family life, then it'll be like self-defense. Because the man got it going on. He look old, honey, but he got a young body focusing in all his essence. So she better straighten up and fly right, because she talked to the wrong man. Then he questioned her per se about her doing the same thing Lucas is. He know Lucas ain't nothing but trying to be a pawn, just a pawn in the game. And he's gonna use his granddaughter. Same thing with her, just doing the same thing, trying to use his grandson. So he like, get out of my prison. Okay, how about that? So we go on to Lily. You know, they had the little fire thing, which she thought was a false alarm, which wasn't a false alarm because that happened at Crimson Lights. That previous false alarm with the fire thing going off. But this actually was a fire. Somebody said it. And all the fingers are pointing at Mr. Max. Max, that's right, the demon seed child, honey. Ready to destroy anything and everything he can get his hands on that threatens his peace of mind. Can you see where I'm going with it? How can a child be so deviant as such as Max? But honey, he is playing his character. He's playing it to the hilt. Anyway, Lily gets no answers from either boys, and she knows there's a story there. And I'm telling you, put Charlie in a timeout, whoop his behind, send him to boarding school, do whatever it is, because your son Lily is a follower. He knows what's right from wrong, but he just let people constantly, and this particular boy, I don't know if you got mind controlling thing going over your son, but you need to separate the two because he's gonna be just like Charlie. You know, those who flock together. Okay, birds of a feather, or is that birds of a feather flock together? It's somewhere. You know where I'm going with it. You gotta cut it out. Cut the head off the snake, if you know what I mean. Whew. Lily, pay attention. Pay attention to the signs, because if he can sit there and be a follower to this treacherous little boy, what do you think is going to happen for the rest of his life? He's going to be a rebel. So get a hold of Charlie now, honey. Beat some sense into him. Let him know that he cannot run around with people that want to start havoc and chaos. He's getting out of control, Lily. Straighten him, girl. But anyway, we go to Sharon and Nicholas. Nicholas is asking Sharon, what could she possibly... Now, they had the funeral on the outside, the little, what do you call it? The little memorial. And he was saying, what could you possibly tell me, honey? Tragedy done struck me from the top of my head to the sole of my feet. I done lost a child. I done lost my father. He's in jail. My mama's drinking. My wife's dead. What could you possibly tell me, honey, that can just bring a ring of sunshine around me? Okay? She said, Nick, you got us, honey. You got us. You're sitting up here just dwelling in la la land, and you act like you ain't got nobody. You got 3 kids. You got one little girl, one middle-aged adult girl. Well, not middle-aged adult, but young adult. And you got a young adult son. You got to be here for them babies, honey. And then, hey, you got me. I'm married to somebody else, but not for long. So you might have me back in your life as your wife, honey. So keep hope alive. That's all I'm trying to tell you. But then we move on from there, because he get the picture. He hugs her. And then Victoria goes into her little hugging. You know, everybody like, yeah, it's time to get Nicholas a hug. So he get one from Summer, his child. He gets one from Noah. He gets one. Well, I don't know what. They had took Faith on out of there because she didn't understand what was going on with her dad. And she had to talk to him. Got to figure out what's going on, Dad. You broke down and you wasn't supposed to be breaking down like that. Anyway, we go to commercial. We come back from commercial. We got the firemen. We got Lily. We got Devon. We got both of the kids. And Lily and Devon are going off. Lily's pretty much going off on Charlie, wanting him to tell her the truth of what really went on with that fire alarm, because it was a true fire in the camp. Okay, it wasn't a practice, it was a true fire. And she's looking at him like, is this one of these damn episodes that we had at Crimson Light? But this is for real. So who is the fire starter, honey? Between two of y'all, who is the fire starter? So we move on. We go back to the little what do you call that, the memorial service. Everyone is getting blessed. The minister is wrapping it all up. He's saying he's going to keep the family in prayer, especially Nicholas. Okay? And everybody pretty much disperses. Nicholas said he ready to go. So, basically, Summer goes and try to find Victoria and let her know, hey, we got to get on out of here because Daddy might show out again. You know, we don't want the kind of distraction anymore. So she's like, okay. So Michael comes up to her as she's coming back around in the area where Nicholas was, and she's saying, "Are we still on to have that reading? Will reading?" She said, "Yeah. As far as I know, unless Nicholas changes, but yeah, he said he want to get it over with because he tired of hearing about everything about death, this, that, and the other. And he just want to get it all out in one scoop day." So he said, "Okay." He said, "Can we still meet at the Newman Enterprise office?" She said, "Sure. I'll be there shortly. Go on and make yourself there." So then we go to Lucas and Rodney. Okay. Lucas and Rodney are meeting, I guess, in Rodney's little apartment. Lucas hired this private investigator to get some evidence on Victoria. The evidence that he got up in there was completely platonic. Whoever she was dealing with or going into the bar that he was trying to watch out for her to see if somebody else was going to meet her or whatever. Well, it didn't matter because the Joker stayed on the outside. She didn't. She went in by herself. She came out by herself. So what kind of message you? What kind of private investigator you got going on? Because the information he got her, hey, she go home to her kids. She come to work. She go home to her kids. She come to work. Same thing. Only thing that deviated was one day she went to a bar. She went in by herself. She came out by herself. He said, "Well, damn. Do I have to tell you all of what your job details, man? Next time you go, if she go to that bar, go in that bar. See, get kind of close to her. Hell, offer her a drink if you have to. And if she says she don't want it, then you move on down the on the other side of the bar. But you stay in hearing distance so that I can understand what's going on. I need more information than what you're getting me and what I'm paying you for this information. If you can't get it right, then I'll get someone who can." So that's pretty much how he saw Mr. Rodney up. And then Mr. Rodney made the bad mistake of asking him, "Well, what type of evidence am I looking for?" It looked like Lucas wanted to just pimp, or we call it, what my daughter had said, the goons be doing, pistol whipping somebody. If he had a pistol, I'm sure he would have whooped him with it. But anyway, that's neither here or there. Of course, Marissa. Um, I'm sorry. I think I had told y'all about she went to visit him at the first beginning, but I didn't mean to tell it. So I'm at that stage now. So I'm going to tell it again if you don't mind. You don't? Okay, I guess I'm going to tell about it again. All right. So basically, she goes to visit Victor and tell her what her ex-husband is up to. That's Lucas. And he's like, "I ain't worried about Lucas." And then she said, "Victor, he's trying to, he's a dangerous person. He's trying to use Summer, your granddaughter. He's sleeping with her. And I just don't really think it's a good thing." Now, I think I did it right. But I'm not. I'm just going to give you the other information. And he's like, concerned. He said, "Oh, so you're worried about her sleeping with Lucas, the enemy, demon seed, demon child, trying to take on my enterprise, Newman. He's just been trying to warm his seat in my seat." A lot of people have tried to do that. And I like to see how long they think they can last in that chair. Because it ain't number one man that can solidify that chair, that sits right in that chair all the time, all day, every day. And don't nothing happen. Of course, you can see I'm incapacitated right now. I'm being held against my will on some crime they say I committed. But they ain't getting the big picture. But since the laws are the laws, I have to stay here, okay? But make it no mistake that nobody takes my seat. Don't nobody take my throne, okay? I am well aware of what's going on, okay? I keep my eyes straight open and I keep my ears down to the ground. So I ain't missing them, but thank you for your concern. But okay, you're saying my granddaughter is being used. What about my grandson? Are you using my grandson? It kind of seems like the same scenario. So please, poof, be gone. So basically, she goes away. We go to where Dr. Gates done call herself paying tribute on behalf of Victor. She don't even know if she's being set up. But it could be still a good thing in retrospect because he's letting her go confront his family members and let them know how upset and he wanted to give him his condolences if he could in person. But he using her as a spokesperson to let them know that he cares about them, he's thinking about them, and he's praying for them. But of course, Victoria don't want to hear that mess. Adam really don't want to hear that mess either. But he got other things and other fishes to fry that he's thinking about. And of course, Nick wasn't nowhere around it because if he would have been clowning just like Victoria. So, Dr. Gates go on to say, your dad, he's very heartbroken. He feels that if Victor's looking for forgiveness, and if y'all go on and forgive him, he'll go and start having this vendetta against y'all. He'll forgive y'all. And they like, you crazy woman. Evidently, you don't know my daddy. And, Adam was pretty much saying the same thing. So she was kind of shocked and dismayed over everything. But it did give her the example that maybe she need to go make amends with her father and just see how it works itself out. That was the big gist of basically Victor telling her to go to the funeral so she can have that epiphany that she needs to work on her relationship with her father. But anyway, we go to a commercial. We come back. We're back on that same little trick with Devon, Lily, and Charlie. Lily and Devon is grilling Charlie again, at least by himself this time and not with the demon seed child. But he wants to tell the truth, but then, Devon has said, okay, maybe you want to talk to your uncle about it. And he was like a little bit more pleasing to go and try to talk to him than try to, talk to his Bob again about the situation. But somehow he weasels his way out of it, and he don't want to tell the truth. So we move on from that scene. We go to Abby. Abby comes rushing in because she's thinking the whole building done burnt down, and her beloved Ben is trapped. Do she care anything about the Demon City child? No, because she probably said he the one that said it, and he went out the back door to let it all come burning down. Can you take it, people? Okay, anyway. Ben sees her. He rushes over there with her. Of course, the Demon City child ain't too far from behind. And she tells Ben she believes Max set the fire. What he say? Are you kidding me? I thought you came over here to check on us, but you trying to say my son, who's been with me all the time, had the audacity to go start a fire? Are you kidding me? This is not looking good for our marriage. I'm telling you, it's not good and look good for our marriage. So we move on from that scene because he don't believe her, of course. He walks away from her along with Max. We go to Marissa and Victor. Victor's calling Marissa an opportunist. Okay? An opportunist. The fruit don't fall too far from the tree. It's basically what he's saying. You and your ex-husband are opportunists. Okay? Victor tell Marissa to tell Noah. Give him a message from his old grandpa. If anyone in the family would like to apologize to him, he will forgive them. So, my question is, why do Dr. Gates really get involved? She didn't really have to get involved, y'all. That is totally out her realm of things. What physician do you know is going to pay a visit to your family members on her off time? I tell you, this stuff is so scripted. Anyway, we move on to Sharon and Dylan. They finally get back home, get relaxed, get out of their clothes and everything. And Sharon is asking Dylan, did she say the right thing when she made that little outburst? And he was just calming her down, chilling her, telling her to chill. Yes, shit was appropriate. Was that really what she wanted to say? If it was really perfect. I was proud of you. Thank you for getting Nick back on the straight and narrow. So we moved on. We go to Nicholas, Sharon, and Dylan. Sharon gets a knock on the door. Guess who's there? Nicholas. He forgot to tell her something at the funeral or the memorial service that they were going to be doing a will reading, and she was asked to come to the reading because he really don't know, but maybe she had something that Sage left or whatever. So that piques her interest. And she's like, oh, why do I have to go? Well, can I just get it? He said, no, you got to come. And so while they're talking, Dylan gets a call. And he said, well, okay, I have to jet out. I had my phone on vibrate, but I got a pretty important call that I need to take care of. So he goes on and leaves. So that's when Nicholas wants to see Faye. And she said, well, I don't think it's a good time because she's tired. And with that debacle that happened with you earlier, both of the kids are just, laying down. But Nick is also saying, you know what, Sharon, I forgot to tell you something. I had been meaning to tell you, but, I know you got the 2 kids and that's fine, but maybe Nikki can watch the babies for us because you have to go with me to this, reading of the will that Sage had in place. And Michael's the executor of the estate, so he wants us there. So she has-heartedly goes, but she knows she gotta go. But anyway, we move to commercial. We come back. We're on Ben and Abbott. Honey, Ben said, you attacking. Yeah, well, Ben was attacking her then because he was getting kind of verbally loud and, just saying, I can't believe you're doing this and we lost the baby. I know you're hurting, but ain't no sense of blaming it on the boy. And so Dylan shows up He goes to the athletic club. He said, I can't believe you called Ben. You called Dylan in on this. And everybody know Dylan the cop. So, there's some shady stuff going on. And Abby has all the rights to want to clear her conscience of this. Because it just keeps nicking, picking at her. Nagging. So she got to figure out what's going on. So why not trust a family friend in it to handle it for you? So, we won't be biased on either side. You know what I'm saying? So he gets mad. He goes on. He said, no, you ain't talking to my son. And da-da-dee, da-da-da. I guess you're going to have a, what do you call them thing, petition. Because that's the only way that's going to happen. So we move on. We go to Lucas and Summer. Okay, Summer is explaining to Lucas that her father totally lost it at the service, and he taking it all in and everything. Then she go on and say this lady came to the what do you call it, the service, to talk about her grandfather want to deliver them a message that he's thinking about him, he's caring about him, and send his condolences, and we trying to figure out who this lady was. Then Adam, because he had met her before when he was down there visiting his father. And she wanted to have some words with him about his condition and all this, that, and the other. So he said, yeah, she's a physician at the infirmary that took care of that when he was in that little accident and stuff. So they're like, oh, okay. So you think, and then Victoria got real smart. She said, oh, so you think you know my dad? Oh, okay. But anyway, Summer was just giving him the play-by-play, blow-by-blow of the whole scenario. And so Lucas was kind of like taken back. He wanted to know a little bit more who this lady was, who did she think she could be, coming there telling her information. Well, what is her real capacity? So she was just really too observed on that, too anxious to know stuff. So Summer kind of got her little antennas going, like, something ain't right with this man, but I'm going to play him until I can figure out something more concrete. So we leave there. We go to Michael. He's at the reading of the will thing, and he's conducting himself very professionally. He's going right on into the will reading. He said, Victoria, she left you a picture of Nick and you when you were very young, and she just loved the closeness of that. She framed it, and we have it ready for you. So it'll just be a little knick-knack of yours from her, because she believed in family. She loved you all's family dearly. So for Faith, it was some necklace that Faith liked it. And since she never had a little girl, she always wanted to give that to her, possibly for her wedding day or something of that nature, however she wanted to use it. But Faith adored that necklace, so she wanted to leave that necklace for Faith. For baby Sully, Sharon, she left a vintage car. A car that Christian had, but of course she had felt Christian had died. But you and her know the real truth of the matter is, so some vintage car she wants Sully or really baby Christian to have. When it got to Nick was left all her materialistic things, whatever that was of value or what he found to be valuable, which she didn't really have nothing compared to what he has in revenue. But what little bit she had, she wanted him to have it. And she also left him a letter. The letter pretty much was like, since evidently you're reading this, that means I'm no longer on earth. So if you please, take care of yourself. Make sure you get back in a relationship with a female. You have my blessing, because you were loved and you deserve love. Okay. Then we had Adam, the last and final letter. His was written out at the, what do you call it, on the envelope, saying for your eyes only. So that meant for him not to share with anybody else that he didn't deem necessary to be hearing it. So he just let them know what the little written word said on the envelope, and he wanted to what do you call it, uplift or keep what she said secret, because it was just for him. So she was just he's obliging to what she had written down as instructions to follow. So he's abiding by those instructions by not letting anybody know but his wife, and he kind of knew what it was, but he just needed confirmation. So we move on from that scene. We go to Marissa and Noah. Hey, Marissa's basically telling Noah where she had went, what she tried to tell Victor about when it was concerning her ex-husband. Of course, Noah knew, and he, it's just a common thing. Victor shuts everybody down. So then we go back to Lucas and Summer. Summer tells why does he go see her granddad. She wanted to know, why you going up there see my granddad? There was no need. So he kind of explains it to her. Not right, but it is what it is. More than that, with a bunch of lies coming out his mouth anyway, because he basically wants to be where Victoria is sitting and where Nicholas will be succeeding him if in fact that he does die. He don't have no plans. He don't care what Nicholas Santori tries to do. He will undo it just as quick as he tried to, get him out. So, you know how Victor worked. We go back to Dr. Gates and Victor. Dr. Gates tells Victor the meeting was horrendous. It was horrific. Your family on you like you on them, like white on rice. But it did give me some insight that I need to try to do some repairing on my end when it comes to my family. So Victor was like, see, you learned something. I taught you something, didn't you? Okay, well, we're moving on. Was a commercial, came back from commercial. We're with Dylan, Ben, Abby, and Lily. Dylan says he needs to talk to Max. But Ben left. He said, I don't want to hear that. Because, see, the fire people said it was sabotage. Somebody had actually started the fire. So we're looking at arson in a sense. Then we move on from there. We go to Victoria and Nicholas. Victoria is trying to console Nicholas at the office, as she normally would do her brother, and he would do the same for her. And he's pretty much forgotten about everything, the letters, he just want to move on with his life. I don't know why he think he's going to move on that quick. Because it's not. They're going to have to find him a love interest of some sort. And it may just be Sharon. Because once the news do come out, oh boy. Anyway, moving on from there. But Victoria was like, okay, something else. We need to find out pretty much. Because I'm curious. They say curiosity killed the cat. But anyway, Victoria's curious. She wants to know what was in that letter that Sage had left for Adam. And, Nicholas was basically trying to tell her, look, they were good friends at one time. They were real buddy-buddy. They were real close. So whatever was written in that letter, that is for him. And I'm cool about that. Okay? So he pretty much shut his sister down. Stop trying to be curious. So, we go on to Chelsea and Adam. And they open up the letter at their apartment just to make sure everything is kosher. They understand things pretty well. And it does come to be what they had both thought that the letter did contain. That she knew about the baby was actually his. She knows that he had switched to paternity test, this, that, and the other. So it is what it is on that situation. Okay? And then he ends up burning. Well, that's at the end. So, okay, we'll go back into that. But we go from there, we go to Abby. Abby is talking to both Lily and Devon about the possibility of the fire being started by Max. It was on purpose. I don't know who in the hell he was trying to kill, but when Lily really think about it, because the fire had started in the surveillance room where they keep all the videotapes, where you can see the comings and goings of everybody coming through the establishment, and anything that's kind of, unexpected, or damaging things such as somebody trying to start a fire and burn the whole thing down. But like I said, Max was trying to burn down the room to help the evidence of him possibly, being on camera somewhere. So, hopefully they'll find that evidence so they can put that boy in a behavior home type thing, because he needs it. He needs some medication because he's ruthless. Just evil to the core. But anyway, we go from there. We go to Summer and Lucas. Summer feels Lucas wants to run Newman. She's absolutely correct with that observation. But somehow Lucas kind of tries to makes himself look like the good guy. Because at first it was just keeping Summer at the Newman Enterprises so he can weasel his way in through her. But now he's trying to overstep her. And I'm not like, come on, girl. You want somebody that you ain't. Ooh, okay, we don't go there because that's just messed up love. Okay, we go to commercial. We come back from commercial. We're on Ben and Mac. Max is talking with his dad, saying, Dad, I ain't started that fire. I don't know what's wrong with your wife, but she always blaming me for this, that, and the other. Dad, we need to handle her. I don't think you need to be with her no more because she's crazy. But anyway, that's the way I took about it. Took it all to sum it up for. So we leave that. We go to Dr. Gates and Victor. Dr. Gates is telling Victor she needs to thank him for trying to help her with realizing where her errors are and what she needs to work on when it comes to her family dynamics. He said, oh, I got you, boo. No problem. No problem. Just remember what I did for you now. So we leave there. We go to Victoria and Nicholas. Victoria's talking about Sharon. It looks like Sharon wanted to say something other than what she said. And again, Nick shuts her down like, no. She said what she had to say to improve my demeanor and my mannerisms when it came to me having an outburst. Sharon knows me way more than those guests. Well, yeah, some of them besides the mama. And she knows what I was feeling at the time because she's very intuitive when it comes to that. So he was like, Victoria, again, mind your own business, okay? So we go to the last and final scene with Chelsea and Adam. Both of them are trying to realize what uh did she really want when she actually called him on the cell phone. But they would never know because she's deceased. And they took the letter that had given the proof that Nick that what was that? Adam was the father. They don't want anybody to know, so they set fire to it and put it in the fire place so it can burn, burn, burn. I mean, all the evidence is gone. The only thing that's going to be told is somebody tell it out their mouth. So that was all, guys, for The Young and the Restless that aired on Thursday, May 5th, 2016, Eastern Standard Time, which is my time, at 3 p.m. I will be back tomorrow, God willing, refreshed with another new episode of The Young and the Restless for Friday, May 6th. So y'all take care and y'all stay tuned. Okay? Y'all be blessed and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.